They were more than men with swords. They were a code, a silence, a force that defined centuries. Born from chaos, the samurai rose like iron from fire, shaped by war, loyalty, and honor. Their legend echoes through the hills of Japan, their spirits inked into the folds of time. This is their story. To understand the samurai, we must travel back over 1,000 years to the plains and provinces of early Japan. In the 8th and 9th centuries, as imperial power in Kyoto began to fade, local clans fought for control of land and loyalty. Peasant farmers sought protection from mounted warriors. These warriors, often sons of minor nobility, became known as bushi, the early samurai. They were not just fighters, but protectors. Their purpose was born not in glory, but necessity. Their loyalty to landowners. Their skill sharpened by constant battle and disciplined archery. Over time, these warriors became a class of their own, separate from the aristocracy, but just as powerful. They took lessons from Chinese military texts, but blended them with Japan's native values: Shinto purity, Confucian loyalty, and the emerging clarity of Zen. The 12th century tore Japan apart. Two clans, the Taira and the Minamoto, waged the brutal Genpei War. From fire and blood emerged Minamoto no Yoritomo, who claimed not just victory, but a new era. In 1192, he was granted the title shogun, military ruler of Japan. And with that, the samurai were no longer just warriors. They were the ruling class. The emperor remained a symbol. The shogun held the sword. Japan entered the Kamakura period, ruled not by poets, but by warlords. The nation was now stitched together by a strict feudal system. The shogun commanded, the daimyo governed, and the samurai pledged fealty and fought for both. A man's life was not his own. It belonged to his lord and to his code. The heart of the samurai was not just the blade, but the code. Bushido, the way of the warrior. It demanded honor, courage, discipline, and, above all, loyalty unto death. A samurai's life could be ended by command. His death, chosen by his own hand. Seppuku, ritual suicide, was not shame, but redemption. They trained relentlessly. In swordsmanship, archery, horsemanship, in calligraphy and poetry. For to master death, one had to understand life. Their blade, the katana, was not just a weapon, it was a soul forged in steel, folded hundreds of times, a reflection of the warrior himself, sharp, balanced, unbreakable. But their power was more than physical. Zen Buddhism taught them stillness. To draw the sword was an act of clarity. To hesitate was death. But even the mightiest warrior must bow to time. The 16th century brought chaos once more, a nation divided in civil war. Samurai fought not for honor, but for power. And out of this storm came Tokugawa Ieyasu, who unified the land in 1603. Peace returned. But peace has a price. Under Tokugawa rule, samurai were forbidden to farm, forbidden to trade. They became bureaucrats, enforcing law, not leading armies. They wore swords, but no longer used them. By the 1800s, the world changed. Guns arrived, steamships, foreign powers, and with them, the end of the samurai's world. In 1868, the Meiji Restoration abolished the samurai class. Their swords were banned, their stipends revoked. In 1877, the final rebellion, led by Saigo Takamori, known as the last true samurai, ended in blood and silence. But death is not the end for a code. Today, the samurai live on, in spirit, in cinema, in discipline, in martial arts, in Bushido-inspired leadership, in every tale where honor stands above survival. They taught the world that strength is not just in power, but in purpose. That loyalty, even in a corrupt world, still matters. That a blade, when wielded with clarity, can become truth. They were warriors. They were poets. They were the soul of Japan. and their shadow still walks among us.